Hello everyone, this is Gage from Dorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another Third Age Reforged on a multiplayer battle replay. This one is actually a 2 versus 2 siege on the Cair Andros map. This is actually a pretty cool map. The only unfortunate thing about this map, for that I don't like anyway, is that the attacker over here, as soon as he deploys, he can just get shot by any archer up there, unless maybe like it's some terrible orc archer, but still, it is rather annoying, which is why you will actually see me run my whole army up this mountain to try to protect a little bit from arrow fire. Anyway, without any further ado, we will just go ahead straight into the army compositions, starting with the two defenders. So one of the defenders is playing as Dale, and that is son of the Dunedain. He has 2 units of dismounted earls, 2 units of Dale swordmasters, 2 units of Dalian marksmen back there. He also has 1 unit of Dale dragon slayers, which you can see is where his general is. He's right there. He also, I believe, has 4 units of barding herd. 1 is up here, the other 3 are all down there. He also has 1 catapult. 2 units of Rivermen, who are a nice cheap javelin unit. I mean, they can't stand up to any missile fire at all, and once they're in melee, they will get killed pretty quickly. But if they're allowed to throw their javelins, they can do a lot of damage. Down here, I believe, is where he has his other units of Barding Herd, as well as his 2 units of Dalian Paladins, who are 1,300 florins each, a very, very expensive shock infantry unit that can do a lot of work. They can kill a lot of heavily armored troops. Anyway, the other defending army is none other than Dark Elven King. He's commanding the army of Eriador. He has 2 units of the Forged Gatekeepers. One of them is actually where his general is. You can see him right there. He also has 1 of Black Wolves, 1 Ballista, 2 units of Battle Ready Dunedain. I'm sorry, I can't really speak. Anyway, he also has 4 units of the Forged Heavy Spearmen, 2 units of the Forged Heavy Swords. The Forged Heavy Swords are actually quite good for what they cost. They're only like 650 florins or something, with 18 attack, 32 defense. But unfortunately, you can only get 2 of them before the price increased. He also has 2 units of the Carlin Footmen, a very light, pretty mid to low tier, I guess, pikeman unit. Still, they can hold the line against reasonably low armored troops. He also has 1 unit of the Thieves of Tharbad, 2 units of Carlin Royal Guard, who are a 2 hit point spearman unit. He also has 2 units of the Forged Heavy Archers that are up here on the walls, and you will see them get actually a lot of kills on my blobbed up troops over there. My original plan was just to kind of like protect my troops using these 2 towers from arrow fire and artillery, but looking back, that was actually a really bad idea because they're all blobbed up, all my Gamperim and Shadow Guard and stuff. So that was definitely not a good idea on my part. Anyway, I believe that is pretty much everything for the defenders, because I was rather surprised that Son of the Dunedain actually did not have any archers over here on this wall, but it does not matter. My ally is, I believe his name is Cappy Pulpy Valar. I probably said that wrong, I'm sorry if I did. Anyway, he has 1 unit of the Galadrim Baron Warriors, which is where his general is, 2 units of the Sylvan Heavy Archers, 4 units of the Sylvan Axemen, 3 units of the Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen, 2 units of the Elder Council, which is a Javelin Men unit. He also has 3 units of Woodland Warriors. I think I already said 4 units of Sylvan Axemen. And I believe he also just has like 1 unit of the Sylvan Heavy Spearmen. And I believe he also has 1 catapult. Anyway, we'll now go over to my army, and we will see what I have. So over here in my blob of troops, you will maybe be able to see 2 units of clan crossbows. 1 of them is where my general is. 1 unit of Dragon's Wrath crossbows. 4 units of Loke Flagrum, 3 of which are right here. The other one is over here in Shield Wall, trying to protect my catapult. 2 units of Loke Signrum, a very, very nice, expensive, multiple hit point spearman unit. However, they can get wrecked by javelins and crossbows just like any other shielded unit. They also are AP, which makes them very nice and very effective at taking out armor. I also have 1 unit of Runic Swiftblades just to carry the ram. I also have 5 units of Loke Gamperim, 2 units of Camul's Shadow Guard, who are a pretty nice mid-tier shock infantry unit. However, they can get shot down very easily because they are very lightly armored. I also have 1 unit of the very fearsome Camul's Chosen with some epic recurved swords. And I believe that pretty much wraps up my army, except for 1 unit of Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen I have somewhere in this blob as well. And as well, I obviously have this catapult. Anyway, without any further ado, we'll go ahead and start it off. And you will see pretty much right away me take a lot of losses from archers. Dark Elven King did a very good job of targeting my weaker, my less armored troops like the clan crossbows and the Camul's Shadow Guard. I actually did leave this other unit of Loke Signrum down here as well to protect the ram, by the way. You can see him going to shield wall and they're running over there. And actually there's some artillery fire of Son of the Dunedain trying to go after... Oh! Getting a great hit on not only the Sylvan Axemen, but also on the Sylvan Heavy Archers. Really, really good right there. Oh, looks like he also has 2 units of Centaur Blade Masters. So after that horrendous artillery shot, my ally is going to put pretty much all of his units in loose formation, which is not a bad idea at all. It actually, yeah, it looks like Instead of the Dunedain is going after the ram rather than any actual units. That's very surprising. Over on this side, though, you can just see my army just trying to run away from the archer fire. You can see my crossbows are taking a lot of losses, as well as my Camille's Shadow Guard. You can see this unit's already down to 82. Luckily, he didn't target my Gamprim that much because they are unshielded infantry, so they will take a lot of losses. The Gamprim are actually pretty decent once they are in the fight and have their spear wall up, but if they don't, then they can take a lot of losses. And you can also see that I am actually opening up my barrage of artillery onto the walls, taking out a big number of those fortune heavy archers actually right there. Because unfortunately last time I played on this map, ooh, another big pocket of archers taken out. But unfortunately last time I played on this map, my ram would actually not work, and seeing as I didn't have a catapult, the only way I could get up was one tower that was actually right over there with the Sylvan Axeman was. So this time I did bring a catapult just to batter down some holes in the walls in case the ram didn't work again. Luckily the ram did work this time though. Over here, though, you can see some paladins getting ready to face these two units of Sylvan Axemen. The Sylvan Axemen will definitely struggle against the paladins, probably going to get taken out, so Capi Pulpi Valar is probably going to have to commit some more units over there. Looks like the Ballista is actually trying to go after my catapult, but without much success at all, so that is definitely very good for me. You can see the side of this hill here just littered with the Camille's Shadow Guard and Clan crossbows, as well as a few Gamprim. But once I get them up here, they should be okay. They can actually see some archers of Capi Pulpi Valar over here as well. Actually, I take it back. I'm still getting shot right now, so I'm going to have to retreat even further. But luckily, I don't really have to worry about this for too much longer. He does actually retreat his archers off the wall once he sees that there are a lot of holes in his wall. You see him already firing again right here. Unfortunately, though, the siege tower is actually in the way, so I actually destroy it, which did waste a lot of ammo, but I just wanted to take that wall down. Okay, so yeah, it's really the attack over on the other side is actually going very, very quickly. I don't know why it was kind of stuck right there. Anyway, also looks like there's some return artillery fire from my ally, getting a couple of those forward shell gatekeepers, maybe? No, looks like he got dismounted earls. Oh, and a lot of the Dalian marksmen actually, who are firing possibly at the catapults. No, it looks like they're just firing at these Sylvan Axemen. Anyway, over here we'll watch the fight on the wall. You can see the two units of Sylvan Axemen fighting hard against these Dalian Paladins, who actually are dropping pretty quickly considering what they are and how much they cost. But I do believe that there is a little bit of supporting archer fire from the Elves. Oh, but the same goes for the other way. Looks like the Fortune Heavy Archers may be firing back there. No, they're still firing at my units. And you can see that my Runic Swiftblades are still having some trouble with the ram, but it's not being as bad as it was last time. And yes, you can actually see that I'm bringing forward some Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen, some Camille's Shadow Guard, and both of my units of Clan Crossbows. Because my plan was to put them up here on this hill and give some support to my ally, either by firing into the back of these Paladins or at those Barding Herd. And I just wanted to press the attack because seeing how quickly my ally was actually attacking, I did know that I had to commit at the same time, otherwise the defenders would be able to deal with this pretty much just one at a time, which is why I'm bringing down these two units of Camille's Shadow Guard and one of the Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen to attack this hole right here. And you can see that my Swift Blades are starting to get back over there towards the gate. Barding Herd being brought down by Son of the Dunedain. Oh, it looks like he actually has 3 units of Dalian Marksmen. I didn't see that unit back there. Or he could have just retreated. No, there are 3 units of Dalian Marksmen. Okay. Okay, so because there are 2 holes in the wall now, and once I get the ram up, I will actually attack. Over here you can actually see some Woodland Warriors fighting hard against these Barding Herd. It looks like the Woodland Warriors are doing a very excellent job of taking out these Barding Herd, at least for now. Oh, yeah. He's really going to have to commit some more Barding Herd or something else that's a little bit stronger down there, because they're taking a lot of losses right there. Up here, though, you can see the Sylvan Axemen are starting to actually get surrounded by the Barding Herd, who are doing much better up here on the wall than they are down there against the Woodland Warriors. And my crossbows, you can see, are starting to take out a lot of these paladins from behind with their bolts. Which will actually allow my ally to take some units off the wall and come over here and help me, because you can see that my 2 units of Dragon's Wrath, my 1 unit of Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen and my 2 units of Camille's Shadowguard are fighting hard against the Thieves of Tharbad, Cardolan Footmen, and now some Cardolan Royal Guard. Definitely a brutal fight so far. Okay, yeah, now the paladins are pretty much dealt with, so I will actually be free to fire my crossbows somewhere else. And luckily, because of this hill, I was not actually taking too much return fire. I was taking a little bit, but not actually too bad. And there goes the gate on my side, which will allow me to attack from 3 points now instead of just the 2. And oh, you can look at this. You can see some artillery fire coming in, taking advantage of my blobbed up troops right here, taking out a pretty good portion of those Loke Gamprim. Not a whole lot, but still, definitely not something that I want. You can see I'm actually committing some Runic Swiftblades, Loke Flagrim, and it looks like 2 units of Loke Gamprim around. I'm actually going to commit these guys over here on the gate, because I actually will be able to push through these Cardolan Royal Guard pretty easily, and then I will be free to help out my units right here. You can actually see that some Dalian Marksmen that are out of ammo and some more Dalian Paladins are having to be committed over here against the Woodland Warriors. The Dalian Marksmen are not bad at all in melee because they are actually AP, but you can see that they're actually going to start dropping pretty quickly because my crossbows are firing right at their flanks. And over here you can see some more of my units pushing forward. My Loke Flagrim and Swiftblades will be able to deal with these Cardolan Royal Guard and 4 Chill Heavy Swords pretty easily, especially because the Flagrim are AP, which is why you can see Dark Elven King is committing another unit of 4 Chill Heavy Spearmen. And over here you can actually see some Scion Rim and Flagrim pushing hard, just pretty much straight through these 4 Chill Heavy Swords. Just doing the old shield wall and then walking through technique. Works very, very well with factions like Rhun and maybe Isengard, and especially with the dwarves. You can actually see I'm trying to get some catapult hits up there, but really not without much accuracy. Because of this big push right here, you're actually going to see Dark Elven King's last 2 units of 4 Chill Heavy Spearmen being committed right here, as well as some battle-ready Dunedain. Okay, so we'll take a look over here because you can see that I actually am starting to push through. Because of the presence of this other unit of 4 Chill Heavy Spearmen, my units at the gate are getting pushed back pretty hard, but these Sylvan Axemen that were brought down off the walls actually are giving me support by attacking these Cardolan Royal Guard from behind. However, they are taking some pretty bad missile fire. Okay, yes, you can actually see some ballista and catapult firing. I was bringing down pretty much my whole army, and unfortunately, because they were rather blobbed up, you can see I actually took some pretty bad catapult fire right there. Unfortunately, it actually did take out a number of my Camille's Chosen, which are a very expensive unit. Okay, that's what happened. Okay. Not good at all. But you will see me bring them over here, so they will not be subjected to pretty much any more artillery fire. Over here, though, even though I am pushing through pretty hard, I will actually commit some more units, mostly because of these battle-ready Dunedain who are actually retreating. And oh, this is actually very good for me. Even though the artillery was firing, fortunately, it was actually rather inaccurate. At least for the time. And over here, we'll take a look at the gate. You can see the Barding Herd and Paladins have pretty much dealt with the Woodland Warriors. However, because of my crossbows and the Sylvan Heavy Archers and Galadrim Veteran Warriors, they are taking a lot of losses just to missile fire. See, my clan crossbows actually did rack up quite a few kills. You see my Camille's Chosen here, but I'm not going to commit them just yet because the defenders still have a lot of really good infantry up here. I think I totally missed those 4 Chill Captains right there. Again, that's just a multiple hit point shock infantry unit. Most often you see them as the bodyguard, but that was actually just a normal unit, because the bodyguard unit of Dark Elven King was actually a 4 Chill gatekeeper. You actually see the Sword Masters being committed, but they are taking some pretty brutal archer fire I don't know if it's from the crossbows or maybe from the Lorien archers. Okay, so I'm starting to make a little bit of headway, but actually I definitely have been slowed down. I probably should have just done that shield wall thing again if I wanted to push through here. But I did know that I would be able to push through here eventually just because my units are quite a bit better, especially with the AP. You actually see some Black Wolves being committed. They are a multiple hit point AP unit, however they are very weak to missile fire. Battle Running Dunedain and Forward Shell Heavy Spearmen fighting hard against my Gamprim and Cyan Rim. Cyan Rim actually racked up a lot of kills right here. And you can see the rest of my army just kind of sitting out here waiting because I did not want to commit them just yet because of the amount of troops that the defenders still have up there on that hill. Over here the gate is pretty much just a barren besides these 10 barding herds, some random paladins, and of course the scattered woodland warriors. Looks like Cappy? Yeah, Cappy is actually committing some more woodland warriors right there. However, this unit took a lot of archer fire, this unit as well, already down to 22. And you can see some Elder Council, some Javelins, and some Sylvan Heavy Spearmen being brought up here to try to deal with these Dale Swordmasters. I actually did have to retreat my crossbows because you can see now that I did start taking a lot of archer fire. But I did bring them just down right here, and then we'll be able to actually fire at the Black Wolves over there. And you can see that the defenders are starting to thin out. These Carlin footmen are actually shaken. They're definitely heavily reduced from what they once were. And over here at the gate you can see I'm starting to push through with my Gamprim and Flagrim. Actually, Son of the Dunedain is bringing over some Rivermen, but he actually, surprisingly enough, did not bring them over to my side, which I thought was probably the more... No, actually, yeah, he's actually going to try to take out these Elder Council who are actually going over to help me out by throwing javelins into the back of these units. But they were actually stopped by the Rivermen, as you will see in just a little bit here. You can see I'm actually starting to take quite a bit of crossbow fire from those Forward Shell, no, archers, Forward Shell Heavy archers, and maybe the gatekeepers. Yeah, they are actually firing. Actually, okay, yeah, now you're gonna see a very, very cheap javelin unit take out this rather expensive one in just 2 volleys. More just 1 because they were just absolutely dropped by that first volley. But you can see now that I am pretty much on the verge of pushing through this gate and the gap in the wall right there. And the same is pretty much going on for this side. My catapult is out of ammo, so I'm committing the crew. However, the battle running Dunedain are actually holding on pretty well, but they are, you can see, starting to drop. Still got 26 Cyan Rim. Anyway, now you will actually see a lot. Now that the defenders really don't have anything left here, you're going to see some brutal missile fire, both from crossbows and artillery. You see my Gamprim and Swiftblade being taken out by crossbows and then by catapults. Definitely not something that I want. So I'm just going to try to push through the rest of the units right here and just start the attack right here pretty much right away. Oh, just a lot of my units going down right there too, missile fire. Oh, pretty brutal ballista fire right there as well. Jeez, oh my goodness. Trying to bring my clan crossbows around to try to silence these freaking archers and crossbows, but really not going to work out that well for me. So you can see that just because of that little bit of missile fire and artillery, my forces over here have been really greatly reduced. Bring over some scattered Camul's Shadowguard over here to help out my units over here who are starting to fall to the battle ready Dunedain. And because of the flank, they will be able to free up my units right here. But just look at the already a large amount of bodies right here. And over here, my ally has actually managed to break through the gate, so we have pretty much won the outer walls at this point. And now we just pretty much have begun the huge fight up here on the hill. You can see some Sylvan Heavy Spearmen charging right around these dismounted Earls, and it looks like they're actually going to try to go after the... Oh, I was hoping they'd go after the gatekeepers, but it looks like they're kind of just walking, maybe trying to outflank the Earls. But you actually are going to see them get, you're going to see the flankers get outflanked by some dismounted Earls and Forward Shell Heavy Captains, or Forward Shell Captains. I do apologize, I'm just getting over being sick, so I do apologize for that, if my voice sounds a little bit weird. And I already see that a lot of my forces are taking losses from the crossbows, definitely not something I want. Especially because this is pretty much all that is left of my gate attack and the attack over here. But my crossbows actually were able to get in range of these four-shell captains, which is definitely a very, very good target for me to fire at, just because they are a shock infantry unit and they are very, very deadly in melee. You can see that the ballista is going to continue firing at my units right here. Gambrim cutting down the last of these battle-running Dunedain and four-shell heavy spearmen. But we'll watch the main fight over here, because this is where the most important stuff is going on. Four-shell heavy archers, I assume they were out of ammo, otherwise he would have retreated them. And the dismounted earls. Oh, some deadly javelin volleys right there from the Riverman right into these Sylvan heavy spearmen. You can see quite a few of these four-shell captains are bloodied up, but not going down quite yet, probably because of the archer fire. Well, crossbow fire, I should say. Oh yeah, the crossbows. We are going to see some really nasty return crossbow fire right here into my poor Gambrim, who are, of course, unshielded. I actually still have 16 Scion Rim from that, from when they pushed through over here. Oh, my poor Gambrim. Actually, you're actually going to see a lot of leftover units from the Lorien player being committed over here, because we weren't going to commit our whole army yet, because we knew that we would get pretty much instantly wrecked by some things like the Rivermen and four-shell gatekeepers, as well as the Dalian marksmen and dragon slayers. So we were kind of just throwing away our kind of like scattered remnants of troops just to try to get them to waste some ammo, because of course we did not want to have the rest of our main army get wrecked just by missile fire. See, a few of those four-shell captains have gone down. And there's some more crossbow fire going straight to my Scion Rim. My Dragon's Breath Guildsmen are here as well. Looks like the Woodland Warriors are trying to sneak around, maybe trying to silence those, either the gatekeepers or the four-shell, or either the gatekeepers or the Rivermen, but no, they're actually going after the Dale Dragonslayers, and they're shaken and they're wavering, and wow, a unit of 43 Woodland Warriors just broke just because of point blank crossbow fire. I was very disappointed by that. Very disappointed. These earls are still these dismounted earls are still holding strong. Archers are starting to drop pretty quickly though. Unfortunately, my ally did run out of ammo with all of his units except for maybe the Galadrim veteran warriors that are up there. So that was rather unfortunate indeed, because this is pretty much made it into a rather interesting predicament, because besides my crossbows, who you will see actually run out of ammo very quickly here, we had no missile units left, and they had pretty much only missile units left, so it was very interesting indeed to see what happened. Rivermen just waiting up there, Gatekeeper still firing. Oh, this time right into my Gambrim, actually breaking them. Oh, and then to my Flagrim, who broke as well. Some brutal archer javelin volleys. No, crossbow volleys. I'm sorry, I cannot speak today for some reason. Anyway, the captains are now down to 34. These earls are at 57, and the other unit of earls, dismounted earls, I should say, are at 44. Still got a couple Dragon's Breath Guildsmen. Oh, actually looks like some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen are being committed. I was trying to run this unit of crossbows like around over here so I can maybe fire at the Rivermen or Dalian Marksmen, but because of the pretty good range of the Dalian Marksmen, you're going to see these guys just get absolutely wrecked pretty much. Actually shaken, so I am going to have to just run them out this gate and then try to get them to go all the way around back to my side where they can actually continue firing. Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen actually were taken out of the fight for some reason. That means they're just going to get shot. I don't know why, but hopefully we'll commit them against these earls or four-shell heavy archers. Nope, looks like they're just going to get shot. That is definitely not good. Actually see my Dragon's Wrath crossbows firing. These guys are 1,500 florins. I was not really able to use them to great effect, however they did do what I wanted them to do, and that was soak up archer fire. Did not really get a whole lot of kills though. Some more woodland warriors being committed now. My catapult crew, even though it's routing, is just kind of sitting here. So we are going to actually see my Dragon's Wrath crossbows take some pretty brutal fire. But again, I was fine with that just because it meant that they're not going to be able to use those volleys against my main infantry force, which you can see is rather small. I only have, what, 1, 2, 3 units of Loke Gamperim, 1 unit of the Camul's Chosen, 1 Loke Scion Rim, and then some clan crossbows that are out of ammo. Oh, my poor Dragon's Wrath crossbowman. I would have committed him probably against these Earls, dismounted Earls, but they would have, the same thing would have happened. They would have just gotten crossbowed, so I just decided to sit them here and maybe try to get some volleys off. And unfortunately, this whole time, my army is just sitting here, taking unnecessary casualties from the tower, but you know, that just happens. Ooh, and some Elder Council actually being brought in by Capi Pulpi Valor. If they are able to throw their javelins, maybe at the dismounted Earls or Foreshell Captains, that'd be very good, but right now they're taking some pretty brutal crossbow volleys, crossbow fire. But they were actually able to get off of a javelin volley, so that's definitely very good. He's trying to retreat them, it looks like, maybe? No, he's still throwing some javelins. You can see my Dragon's Wrath crossbows are trying to fire, but they're really just missing a lot, unfortunately. Let's take a look out here and see what my ally actually still has left. I believe he still has those 2 units of Sindar Blade Masters. Looks like 1 Sylvan Axeman, 2 units of Sylvan Axeman, 1 Sylvan Heavy Swordsman. And then his General's unit up here, as well as some Sylvan Heavy Archers back there. Okay, very interesting. Those Foreshell Captains are actually starting to go down now. A few of them taken out right there by my Dragon's Wrath crossbows, and a lot by the Javelins. However, the Elder Council are now getting taken out pretty quickly by the crossbow fire of the Gatekeepers. Oh, and I am actually planning to hopefully start uploading maybe twice a week. But unfortunately, I've been having quite a few issues actually getting replays just because of all the crashes, and I'm actually pretty strained for time at the moment. Well, at the time. No, I don't know. I'm just being dumb. Anyway, we'll look over here at the main fight. The dismounted Earls actually have taken a lot of casualties. This unit down to 24. I don't even know where the other unit is, if there is actually another unit indeed. I know there were 2, but I don't think there are 2 anymore. The Foreshell Archers are getting cut down. I still have 1 Dragon's Wrath Guildsman left. And the Captains, this is very good for us, are actually down to 6, so that was definitely good. 5. 1 taken out by Woodland Warrior. Well, let's take a look at what the defenders actually have left. Looks like they have 1 unit of Dalian Marksmen that is out of ammo, the 2 units of Rivermen, 1 more unit of Dalian Marksmen who still have ammo. I'm just looking at Dale's forces right now. The Dragon Slayers, of course, the Catapult, the Ballista, 2 units of Foreshell Gatekeepers with a ton of ammo left, 1 unit of Dale's Swordmasters, and I believe that's pretty much it. But if you look at the percent, it's still pretty close. It's within 10%. Okay, looks like my ally is actually going to commit some more sturdy infantry in the form of these Sylvan Axemen. Trying to push through. Looks like they're maybe going after those dismounted Earls. However, if they do, that's just going to really submit them to some brutal crossbow volley from the flank. But again, there's really nothing you can do about that. The Javelins look like they're actually being just allowed to fire now that they're only down to 18, which was definitely very good for us. Looks like both Dark Elven King and Son of the Dunedain did not think it worth it to fire arrows at these Elder Council. Oh, I take it back. Taking out some right there. But yes, the Swordmasters is definitely a very good target to fire your javelins at, because they are, of course, a shock infantry unit with no shields. And just like that, those Sylvan Axemen just pretty much instantly melted by the javelin volleys and crossbows. Actually broken. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see my own clan crossbowmen coming around, trying to get into position to fire. And now it's pretty much just the kind of boring, almost waiting game. You see I'm actually committing my Dragon's Wrath crossbows now because they are out of ammo. Took a pretty nasty javelin volley right there, but again, that's fine. Because all these javelin volleys are going into my Dragon's Wrath crossbows instead of going into my more softer units over here. So again, I was totally fine with that. Trying to charge them into this front line of Dalian marksmen. Actually taking a couple out.
We're under attack.
And you can see Cappy's last unit of Sylvan Axemen taking some javelin. Oh, javelins right to the side. Jeez. They had so many missile units left. It was insane. But finally one of Dark Elven King's units of Forge Hill Gatekeepers is out of ammo now. Took long enough. Oh, man. And I'm hoping that, yeah, it looks like this unit of Rivermen might be out of ammo now. They definitely have fired the most javelin volleys. This unit of Gatekeepers still firing, though. Right into this blob of Sylvan Axemen. That's the unfortunate thing about attacking this hill. Both crossbows and archers, for whatever reason, well, they're on a hill, that's why, have a very, very excellent angle with which to fire at your units, which is unfortunate because, like, I mean, if you look at the actual angle, you can't really see that much, but somehow they're able to just, like, drop them right into this blob of troops right here. Still have 2 Dragon's Wrath crossbows. Actually getting a decent amount of kills here, even though there was only 4, I think, when the actually attack began. Ooh, nice one. Took out a Dalian marksman right there. Some Rivermen marching down. There are still 3 Elder Council. 2 of them only have javelins, though, because the other one is a banner bearer. Some heavy archers about to be committed. Again, just to try to soak up archer fire. Oh, more crossbow fire. My Dragon's Wrath crossbows are actually doing pretty well for only having 2 men left in the unit, but they are, of course, a very expensive unit, so they actually are very good in melee. It's just they're have very low numbers. One of the last of my crossbows getting taken out there by the gatekeepers. There's still 1 left though. Hoping I'll be able to take out this Dalian marksman who has the swordmaster model. Ah, yes, he did. Good job. Good job, crossbowman. You can die now. I don't care. So the artillery crew of Capi Pulpi Valar is actually being committed as well. Ooh. So yeah, this is the very interesting part. Like I was saying, pretty much now all the defenders have left is missile units, and all we have left are infantry units. But we don't want to attack just quite yet because my Gamprim especially will get absolutely destroyed by both crossbows and the Dalian marksmen, including the Dragon Slayers, of course. Yeah, it looks like this unit of Rivermen is actually out of ammo now. They're going to be engaged in melee by these Sylvan Heavy Archers, who will be able to absolutely cut down these Rivermen. However, it looks like these Rivermen actually do have one-handed axes, which actually will make them AP. I did not even realize that. Yeah, I did not know that at all. I mean, it really won't help that much because these Sylvan Heavy Archers do have pretty decent stats, but still. Actually see some Swordmasters looked like they were going to go around for the flank, but they actually thought better of it and went back to their position, went to their previous position. So the percent is, you can see, it is starting to turn. It's, well, we're still winning the percent. Well, I say we, but the attackers is what I mean. The attackers are still winning the percent, but the defenders have definitely turned it around. It's now only within 6% instead of 10. But I believe that now the only things that my ally actually has left, yeah, are his Galadrim veteran warriors, and then those 2 units of Sindar Blade Masters. Oh no, I take it back. There's this completely healthy unit of Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen right here as well. But still not a whole lot left. And I mean, I don't have a whole lot left either. I only have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units left maybe? Well, so I still have a decent amount, but still. My clan crossbows are there as well, but of course they're terrible in melee, so I'm not going to commit them. Especially because one of them is where my general is, so. Ooh, they're taking some crossbow. Oh, do I have my crossbows in here somewhere? So they're taking crossbow. Oh yeah, I couldn't even see them because of all the bodies, but I actually have my other unit of clan crossbowmen right here firing at those Dalian marksmen. Oh, so they're actually now getting focused down by not only the Dale Dragon Slayers, but the Gatekeepers as well. That's fine though, because the Dale Dragon Slayers do not have very much ammo, so I'm fine with them firing at my crossbows. I mean, it did pretty much melt my entire unit of crossbows that still had ammo left, but that's fine. 10 Sylvan Heavy Archers have really taken out a lot of those Rivermen. And I believe, yeah, my last Dragon's Wrath Crossbowman has been taken out because I don't see him anywhere. But the Dalian marksmen that were right here actually are considerably reduced. I believe they were at like 100 or something before they were engaged by the Sylvan Axemen and Dragon's Wrath crossbows. Now they're down to 40. And luckily for us, this unit of Dalian marksmen is now out of ammo. So Dale's only missile units left are this one unit of Rivermen and his Dragon Slayers. However, this unit of Gatekeepers still has a lot of ammo left. I believe he said it has like half ammo left at this point, maybe even 3/4. So, which is really surprising considering it's been firing so long. But still, crossbows have an obscene amount of ammo. My routing catapult crew is still just standing there. Same with the Sylvan Axemen, not Sylvan Heavy Axemen. And these Sylvan Heavy Archers are now routing. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up until we actually do the final push. Because this part is, of course, just pretty boring. Okay, and here comes pretty much the final push. You're going to see, I believe, yeah, both my units of Gamperim and as well as my last unit of Cyanrim. I still have that other unit of Gamperim right there as well as my Camille's Chosen, but I want to hold them until the very end. You can actually also see some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen and the 2 units of Sindar Blade Masters. So my plan here was to run these Gamperim forward as quickly as possible, and really the only way I could do that is pulling them out of spear wall formation. But before they get into the fight, I will put them back in spear wall formation. See my Cyanrim going down to some crossbow fire right there. I was pretty much just going to try to do the same thing with my Cyanrim that I did down here, and that was just put them in the shield wall and try to walk through the battle line. Which you actually still will see me do. I'm going to push straight through these Gatekeepers, but that's pretty much just going to subject me to some just absolutely terrifying volleys from the Rivermen and Dragon Slayers as well as the Gatekeepers. You see actually my Gamperim going down to some Rivermen volleys. So my Gamperim will be able to deal with these Rivermen very quickly. Sindar Blade Masters are going to struggle against these Dalian Marksmen and Sword Masters, but they will be able to beat them eventually. Not with that javelin volleys. Not with those javelin volleys, though. Not to mention the crossbows that are firing straight to the very missile-weak Sindar Blade Masters. So I'm trying to push my Cyanrim through to get into these Gatekeepers to silence them, but unfortunately that's exposing my back to the javelins and Dragon Slayers, who will take advantage of this in just a minute. Actually, see, I'm even getting targeted by some crossbows as well. But yeah, the Dalian marksmen actually will be able to do very reasonably well against the Sindar Blade Masters because they are AP. The Dale Swordmasters are not AP, but again, they have some pretty nice defense and attack values as well as hit points, so they will be able to do pretty well as well. And so, just like that, you can see that my unit of Siren has pretty much been melted by the crossbows and javelins. You can see it's already down to only 17 now. So they were actually, I was able to punch a hole through the line right here, but really wasn't very effective. You can actually see some Cinder Blade Masters going down here to try to silence these Dragon Slayers. But luckily for us, these Rivermen are now out of javelin volleys. So pretty much the only missile units they have left are, looks like maybe the Dragon Slayers, who probably don't have a whole lot of ammo left, and of course the crossbows. But again, you can see that the Cinder Blade Masters and the Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen have been really taken out. There are really not that many left of them. And my game from over here are actually having a tough time of it. They were able to take out the first unit of Rivermen, but because of the crossbow fire and javelin volleys, they're not going to be able to take out this second unit of Rivermen. Oh my goodness, just that terrible, terrible crossbow fire. So you actually, yes, you can see my last units being committed now. My Camul's Chosen are now in shield wall. Again, I'm going to try to push through them straight into those gatekeepers. And my last unit of Gamprim is going to be committed up here again against the Rivermen. Taking some brutal crossbow volleys. I feel like I've said that a million times, but it's so true. The crossbows were so intense this battle. The catapult looks like it was trying to fire, but it looks like it self-imploded. I don't know what the heck that was. It like fired and then like self-imploded. I don't understand. By the way, look how close the defenders have brought it in percentage-wise. It's even now. It's 89 to, oh wait, no, it's 89 to 90% now. So it's definitely super close. The Galadriel Veteran Warriors are being committed as well. They will be able to take out these Swordmasters, and you can see my Camul's Chosen pushing through the last of these Dalian Marksmen, which will also free up these Sindar Blade Masters to try to silence maybe those Fortrail Gatekeepers. Because I definitely knew that if I was able to push through with my Camul's Chosen, I was going to try to silence these Gatekeepers and stop them from firing at the flanks of my Gamprim over here, who we can see are just cutting down those poor Rivermen. This Ballista crew is trying to stop the Camul's Chosen from getting into the archers, but that's really not going to work out well for them all. The catapult crew, or Ballista crew, won't be able to do anything, and my Camul's Chosen will be able to push straight through. The nice thing about the Camul's Chosen is that they are actually AP, by the way, so they will be able to take out heavily armored units like the Fortrail Gatekeepers with pretty considerable ease. Over here you can see the Gamprim just pushing straight through those poor Rivermen, and the my other unit of Gamprim still fighting against the Swordmasters and Gatekeepers, as well as, and they're actually being backed up by the 53 Galadriel Veteran Warriors. And yes, there we go. So, looks like Dark King has realized he's not going to actually be able to run his crossbows away and get them to fire again. So they're just going to stand here and fight against these Sindar Blade Masters and Camul's Chosen. But I was very, very worried about this catapult. I mean, look, it's trying to get in. It even says it's firing missiles. So, but I didn't have anything to stop it with, so I did actually ask my ally to commit his Sindar Blade Masters there, which is what he did very nicely, silencing that catapult. But you can see that actually these Sindar Blade Masters are starting to take some fire from those Dale Dragon Slayers, as well as my Camul's Chosen. But they're still, my Camul's Chosen are still very healthy. I do feel like, yeah, it's pretty much done at this point. We are starting to pull back the percentage. We're now winning ahead by 8%. But again, still, it's been a very close battle. I mean, any battle within 10% is a very close one. Actually, see my Camul's Chosen again going in shield wall and going to push straight through these Fortrail Gatekeepers. I can tell you that Dark King was not very happy that I just pushed through him like that. But I only did that because I wanted to take out these Dragon Slayers. So the Veteran Warriors just kind of sitting here, and my Gamprim have just taken out the last of those Rivermen. And you can see that because the Gatekeepers have been pushed through, they took a lot of losses, now down to 12. However, the General is still one of the last ones alive. And my unit of crossbows, I was actually able to run up. My clan crossbows, I was actually able to run up here, and I was firing at the Dragon Slayers. I'm just taking out the last of these crossbows here, and then I will go over and help out my ally take out the rest of these Dragon Slayers, who have some ridiculously large anime swords. Like, oh my goodness, that is a large sword. Besides that, I think they're actually a very cool looking unit. I really don't like the huge sword, but besides that, I think they do look very cool. Just the huge sword doesn't really seem like Lord of the Rings-ish to me. That's all I have to say about it. There go the generals, both taken out by the Galadrim veteran warriors. And you can see my Gamprim and Camille's Chosen. No, just my Gamprim marching forward. I don't know actually why I didn't commit my Camille's Chosen, but that was the case. So we will watch the last stand of these Dragon Slayers. Oh, I apologize. You see that the Galadrim veteran warriors are taking some casualties here, but they will be able to take out these Dragon Slayers without much trouble, just because the Dragon Slayers are, of course, very low in numbers. And the Galadrim veteran warriors are very, very good in melee. I believe that's why they only have like 2 volleys of arrows. You can see my Camille's Chosen and Gamprim marching forward now, finally. A little too late, though, to try to take out some of these Dragon Slayers, though, because it looks like the Elves will be able to do so without my help. One Dragon Slayer left, and it looks like he is taken out. Yes, by a Galadrim veteran warrior. At first I thought it was going to be by the Sindar Blade Master, but no. Anyway, so yes, it was definitely a very, very fun battle. Big thank you to all the players involved. It was definitely fun after having all those crashes and stuff, especially because it was so close. If you look, it's 92 to 100%. So within 8%, that's a very, very close battle indeed. I don't know if there's like another random unit routing or something. I don't know, but if I pause this for a second, just look at how many bodies there are. I mean, on this hill, that is pretty intense. I mean, just look at all. You can especially see the red capes of my Cyanrim as well as the blue capes of the Axemen. And down here you can see that the brutal fights at the wall and gates, as well as this gate over here. So yeah, it's definitely a very, very brutal battle. Super fun as well. So I had 2,316 men deployed, 1,787 kills. My ally getting 1,400 kills. Darkling King getting the most kills for his team, getting 2,144. And Son of the Dunedain getting 1,405. We'll take a quick look at the exact statistics, and then I'll go ahead and end this video. So my clan crossbows getting 121 and 174. Dragon's Breath crossbowmen getting 69. One unit of Cyanrim getting 230. That was the first unit that was committed into that hole over there. And the other unit of Cyanrim only got 11 kills because they just got instantly melted by the javelins and the crossbows. Camille's Chosen only getting 63 kills, but that's not surprising because they were committed very late in the game. Flagrim, some doing very well, some doing not. Camille's Shadowguard not doing the greatest. Some of my Gamprim did, I guess, okay, but none doing spectacular. Catapulting getting 25 kills, but again, it did its job because they were able to... it was able to open up holes in the wall. Okay, so that pretty much concludes this video. So if you guys did enjoy it, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you guys did not, please just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next video. So farewell wherever you fare, till your eyes receive you at your journey's end.